Okay, so this is why I do this. This is why I show up. One of the many reasons. This is my old belt for when I was 470 pounds. This is, it's unbelievable, man. Like, it goes around me how many times, nephew?
2 times. 2 full times.
Like 1.5. 1.5.
1.5.
It goes around me 1.5. Right?
That's crazy.
Okay. So we're gonna do it. This is where it used to be. It was tight. Like, I had to move this. See, what you can do is this belt is designed for you to unscrew it so you can move the lever, the locking mechanism up here. When I was on, as you can see, I used to have the locking mechanism right there. And so, when I found the snake diet, this was my belt. That lever was all the way up there. And then I got it all the way down to even further to here because in 6 months, I went from 380 to 219. So I went from having to wear this belt like this in 6 months to being able to lock it down right here. So if you're thinking that you might want to try the snake diet, you might want to start fasting and doing some resistance training and some cardio, throwing it all together, eating 1 time a day even. If you don't want to fast, do some intermittent fasting. You got to do something because it pays off. It pays off quick. All right, I got to finish working out. Thanks.
Yep, and that's why I keep doing what I'm getting ready to do here. Because it just feels good. Feels good, man, to finally have some semblance of control over what's happening to my waistline, you know. So today's squats felt good. A little tight in the hips. Seems like every 2 or 3 squat sessions I have pretty tight hips, but they loosen up pretty good. I left my singlet at home, but all sets were definitely pretty good sets. Always room for improvement. Bar path is looking pretty good. I had to kind of set it there. I'm trying not to have too much forward movement of the barbell, but as I lean out and approach 230 pounds, because I was 229 when I woke up this morning, so I'd made weight today. Seems kind of anticlimactic, but it feels good nonetheless. Now to stay around the 227, 232, 233 mark until June 22nd, because I don't think I really want to lose too much more weight at this point, because once you lose a certain amount of weight, it just doesn't matter. Your leverage has changed. The barbell starts getting real heavy. So we're going to keep around 227 to 232 up to the meet, and then I'll make sure that I'm under 231 for the meet and then go from there. This is my single, 330 for 1, and we definitely hit depth there. Nice controlled lift, setting those motor patterns in. And here we go with the working sets. We're building us some muscle. Let's get to it. These felt very light today. Felt very good because I took almost no break. I just broke down the 330 pounds to 280 and went right back at it. No rest. The only rest I took was breaking the barbell down, taking weight off of it, and then right into the 3x6, which made this feel extremely light on my back, which felt really good. The bar path is coming along nicely. I still would like it to be straight as an arrow, but we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Definitely getting there. So thank you, Coach, for having me join the very strict USAPL, USA Powerlifting, because even though, you know, there's a lot of critics that say there's a lot of lifters who are taking stuff, still everybody's held to a very high standard, and it's making me really, really try to be in tune with my squat mechanics and my technical proficiency, and making me keep up on my conditioning, because in order to be technically proficient, in order to keep getting better, you need to keep your conditioning tip top. And I am really doing my best to do that outside of running. The sprinting and getting through the training sessions rapidly is providing a lot of conditioning for me. Although I would like to add in another really solid element of conditioning down the road, and I'm not sure what that will be, but I would really, really like to add that in to get even more cardiovascularly fit. The reason for that is totally selfish, because I want to be able to lift more and I want to look better in my clothes. But I'm starting to look like I lift, and that's a good feeling. Even though I'm not putting up 9 million pounds, my physique is starting to look like that of a power lifter, and that makes me very, very happy. The bench is coming along much, much better. Today, my top set of 205 flew off my chest, which felt really, really good. I watched a video by Scott Mendelson, and for those of you who don't know who Scott Mendelson is, he was one of the greatest bench pressers to ever live, and he's still alive. He's not in his prime anymore. He's not competing anymore, but he's still strong as an ox, and I was watching some of his videos on trying to get my form down. Now, Scott Mendelson, he benches on his toes where my feet have to be flat. But I was looking for a video for leg drive, and he helped me learn a little something about leg drive, and that is to drive my traps downward and back into the padding. Not to push myself back, but to actually try to drive my traps through the mat out to the other side. So I'm pressing my traps diagonally down into the pad by using my feet to do that. It's kind of weird, but that came up very, very fast. And I was like, oh, okay, Mr. Mendelson, I got you. Feels pretty good. So I tried to recreate that pushing motion with the 180 for 3 sets of 5. And I have to say that my timing is getting better as a result. I was taking very, very little breaks, and I look a little bit more solid than I ever have on the bench. So bench is coming along nicely, but that's one of those lifts for the natty boy like myself, Mr. Natural, who is not just, I'm just not lighting the bench up. It would be nice to have been one of those guys who just are built for the bench, but I am not. I have to work very, very hard at it, and that is what I am doing. So onward and forward, yeah. But it feels good to be able to be in the gym and train, and I got my nephew there. He's practicing taking photographs with my camera, so he'll know what to do at the meet coming up, so I can save some money and not have to pay anybody other than family to take photos of me for the meet, even though the photos that were taken of me at the last meet were awesome. I want to thank 52 kilograms of money for her excellent efforts at the last meet, because she took some really, really great photos. All the lifters there. Wonderful, wonderful job she did. So thank you very much if you're watching. Now, this last set, these first 2 reps, that I wasn't connected to the push, but the 3rd rep there, and this rep, I'm really starting to feel where to push from as far as my hands and my feet. Everything started to really feel connected. So The bench is coming along. Now for deadlifts, everything came up super fast until I got to 410 pounds for my single, and I got forward in my stance, and I think my feet were too close together, and I also think that I waited too long to pull and was kind of running out of breath. Because when you brace, like right here, when I pull right here, I'm not breathing. You got to hold your breath. It's part of bracing. So here, I'm holding my breath right about here, and it's taking me a little bit too long to set up and pull, and I'm losing my wind, losing my breath, but I still pull it off, but it was slower than hell. Yeah, very, very slow. There was a grinder there, and it didn't have to be. But got it done, and that's all that matters. And it didn't look like shit. It just was slow as hell because I think my feet were a little bit too close. My leverage was a little bit off there. Maybe should have had a little bit wider of a foot stance. But all in all, deadlifts felt really, really great today. No complaints about those. And I'm looking forward to having something over 500 pounds on the barbell for the meet. My nephew noticed today that we were moving a little bit faster than last week. That's because I'm in a little bit better shape. And I did 3 sets of 2, kept the pull-ups light today. Starting from dead stop. Yep. And all in all, it was a really good day of lifting. A great time. Me and the nephew hanging out, editing some videos, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.